This might be one of the greatest anime seasons of all time, because this current season right now is seeing some of the best shows in terms of rating, at least so far, some of the best shows we have seen across the board in rating. And there's only one other year and one other season I could think of that was equivalent to this current season. But peep this right here. When you look at the top show of the season, it is Frieren. And Frieren is at a 9.34 to start off the year. It is the highest rated show right now in not just the season, but of the entirety of my anime list to start off. Now, as the season goes on, there's a good chance that's gonna drop. But in this season of the anime, only 10 episodes. So it's a far cry from the 20 episodes we got last season. But if they just perform what they usually do, which is greatness on a regular basis, then it should maintain its position at least over a 9.1. So off the gate, you have a 9.3 series, and then you have Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2, you have Hell's Paradise at the top 3 spots, where you have an 8.6 and an 8.1. Then you have Oshi no Ko Season 3 at an 8.4, the new series, Sense to be a Hero, where you have a lot of the staff that worked on Jabba's reincarnation. They're working on this right here. And the first episode, which was 40 minutes long, was an extravaganza. It was phenomenal. And then the follow-up episode was also very good too. In terms of the quality of the shows, these shows right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, have been very good off the gate. I would say that Hell's Paradise Season 2, Episode 1, was pretty fast paced for episode 1, so I'm kind of concerned about moving forward, but it was still overall pretty good. But what really surprised me was Fire Force Season 3 Part 2. This right now is at an 8, and an 8 on my list is actually very good. If you're over a 7.5 on my list, then you're doing something right for sure. And this, oh my god, I was so stressed because we found out that they were going to cover like 88 chapters of content in 13 episodes. And this blew my mind because the content to come for Fire Force, this final arc of Fire Force, is some of the best content in a show that I've read. It is that good. This season, I was really concerned about, but they have proven me wrong. Fire Force Season 3 Part 2. Episode 1 was good. Episode 2, oh my god. Benimaru versus the former leader of Asakusa? Magic. That was magical. They did 9 chapters in 1 episode, and it was paced even better than Hell's Paradise. It was very well done and instilled in me a lot of confidence. I was so concerned, I was so worried, and the first part of season 3 was but this part right now is just phenomenal. And that was, I think, one of the best fights I've seen this year so far, and that's even including the stuff we're getting from Fate Strange Fake, which is also over an 8.4. This right here is outstanding content. I typically follow the mainstream Fate line stuff. So the original Fate Stay Night, Unlimited Blade Works, and Heaven's Feel. If you don't know, I'll watch all the stuff on my Patreon, okay? So every reaction that you see on my Cole Reactions channel, on my TikTok, on my shorts, and on Facebook, and so on and so forth, they are all done first on my Patreon and then chopped up later on. So if you want to check out my Patreon content, where we do reactions to all these different shows, even like One Piece content, even let's say Webtoon content, then check it out on my Patreon. But that being said though, this Fate was a little bit strange, all puns intended, because it actually started off really around 2023, where you had that initial like Gilgamesh versus Enkidu episode, and then they didn't do anything for a whole year, 2 in a sense, dropped in 2024, and then they didn't have anything for a year. So whatever they were doing there for the past 3 years for Fate Strange Fake was absolutely strange. It was really, really weird. It felt almost like JoJo 6-ish, where they were just doing massive delays per episode. So again, the details are the details. However, this has been also an outstanding series. You can see that when it comes to the top end series right now, the first 7 series, the top series, are all over 8s. And I have the confidence for sure that Fire Force will be an 8 and they continue to be higher than 8, because the things to come are going to be just so outstanding, so phenomenal, so jaw-dropping. And I have the confidence that they can maintain frame moving forward, because again, my biggest issue was the pace. The only show actually I'm really concerned about right now is Hell's Paradise. Can Hell's Paradise maintain over 8? Because the pace of the first episode, I think, was a little bit But then, even outside of the top 7 shows, right, the shows that I follow that are also pretty good are shows like My Hero Academia Vigilantes Season 2, 7.4, or Trigun Stargaze, which is Season 2 of Trigun Stampede, which also had a 7.4. Golden Kamuy, the final season. If you can get past a lot of the homoeroticism, which, trust me, is a lot, man. These boys are crazy. If you can get past that, this show is phenomenal. This show is up there with one of the best of the best. And you can see right here, Golden Kamuy, final season at an 8.4. There are other shows that have high ratings too, like let's say Journal with the Witch. I know that people are big fans of this one show right here, the Chained Soul season 2, that has a 7.5. And even sleepers like the Darwin Incident right here, right now is at 6.7, not high. This show does have a lot of potential. So all that to say is that this season's anime is clearly stacked. You can see how there are so many good shows this season. A lot of these shows I'm watching my Patreon. What came to my mind as I rolled through this season was comparing it to another top tier season that I remember in 2022. Fall of 2022 is when you had, I think, some of the best content that dropped. Like, that was probably like the best season of anime I've seen in a very long time. And as a reminder, this season was disgustingly strong. Chainsaw Man first drop in fall of 2022, 8.4. Spy X Family Part 2 dropped with an 8.2. The first season of Blue Lock, where they weren't going PowerPoint slide, 8.1. The Eminence in the Shadow, a very enjoyable isekai, 8.2. Mob Psycho Season 3. The legendary Mob Psycho Season 3 ended in this season, fall of 2022. A phenomenal run. Legendary run. 8.7. My Hero Academia Season 6. An outstanding season without a damn doubt. Even though obviously it was on the heels of that whole arc switch, this was nonetheless a great season. You can see in the ratings, an 8.2. Then you have Boichi the Rock. I never saw it, but I know that folks who did see it, they loved Boichi the Rock. 8.7. Bleach, when the 1,000-year blood war, Taite Kubo coming back strong with the Bleach 1,000-year blood war. One of the most anticipated, the most hyped arcs of an anime. You can see right there, 8.98. Almost a 9 rating for the Bleach 1,000-year blood war. And this season also had major sleepers. Sleepers like 2 Year Eternity Season 2 at an 8.11. It had Uzaki-chan Season 2 at a 7. I love Uzaki-chan. It also had the Gundam Witch from Mercury, 7.8. The first Gundam that a female character lead, as far as I understand it. It was the first Gundam anime with a female character lead with Slaughter Mercury. Then you have Golden Kamuy, the 4th season, at an 8.1. So when I think about this current season of anime, keep in mind that this season anime was happening, let's say, during the pandemic. So a lot of folks were tuned in and locked in to anime at that point in time. But this season, I think, is a season that is to remember for sure, without a damn doubt. Given the heavy hitters of the season so far, given the rating and the quality of the anime so far, starting off with the highest rated show on the list right now. And as these shows progress, there's a good chance a lot of these shows are going to maintain their high rankings or go even higher in terms of their rating, because the quality of content is going to be that high, without a damn doubt. So on that note, lads and ladies, this season of anime is an outstanding season of anime, and if you aren't locked in yet, then get locked in. Without a doubt, I'll be covering more of this content on this channel because I figure, why not? I'm definitely tuned in to this season. The only thing about it is that obviously, as a major One Piece guy, there is no One Piece anime out this season. It's coming out next season. But remember, come the end of the season, there is a massive giga juggernaut that is going to drop in March, one that people have been dying for a very long time. And that, my friends, without a doubt, is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 7, Steel Ball Run. So the season, even come the tail end of it, is going to be ending on a crazy note when this drops. This season's going to be crazy. It already is crazy.